boys? Today we are back, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the fights to make after UFC 327. The generational card just happened. Ulberg won the belt. Costa had a big upset win. Hokit Blades went to war. I'm going to go over the majority of fighters, not obviously the early prelim guys and the prelim guys. I'm going to go over the majority of important shit in this video. So let's get straight into it. Tatiana Suarez beat... Who'd she beat? Lupi Godinez at UFC 327. Good win. It was a decent fight. Lupi dropped her early. Tatiana came back and got the sub in the second round. I'd say run her versus Virna Jandiroba. These two have not fought. This is a good title elimination bout. Virna just got a win as well. Timelines match up great. Virna got a win. After losing to Zhang Weili. Tatiana Suarez is on a 2-fight win streak. Let's build up the next contender. Obviously, it's probably going to be Mackenzie Dern versus Zhang Weili next after Mackenzie Dern took the belt, and then Zhang Weili moving back down to 115. So I think this makes a ton of sense, and that'll mean whoever wins this fight fights for the belt again against probably Zhang Weili. But yeah, that'll put... what's her name? Tatiana Suarez on a 3-fight win streak. That would put Jandiroba on a 2-fight win streak if she wins this fight. So yeah, let's not just get back another contender that just has one win after losing and then fights for the belt again. Let's get a little nice win streak going so this fight makes sense. And this fight would be a banger. I'm kidding, obviously. Tatiana Suarez would probably win this, but I'm not sure. Moving on. Mateusz Gamrot got a big victory over Esteban Ribovics. I say run him versus Manuel Torres. The UFC hates Gamrot. They're not going to give him a high-ranked guy. And him against anyone like highly ranked doesn't make any sense. I could see him versus Moicano happening. That's probably what's going to happen. I don't see him versus Dariush. Or excuse me. What the fuck am I saying? Long day at work. I don't see him versus like the top guys. I don't see them making him versus Armin. I don't see them making him versus Charles again. Obviously. Not him versus Holloway. Who even else is up there? Not him versus Gaethje, obviously. Ilya. Him versus Patty, maybe, but I think they're going to give Patty someone else. I think they'll give Patty like BSD maybe, or Hooker. So yeah, and the UFC hates Gamrot too, so I think they're going to feed him a tough guy in Manuel Torres coming up the rankings. Manuel Torres has fucking finished everyone, except for Ignacio Bahamondes, and looking back, that's not that good of a win, or a loss. That's kind of a shitty loss, but I think they'll feed him Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is coming off some, good finishes and is around like 13th or 14th in the rankings, and that's who Gamrot usually fights, so I see this matchup happening, and I see either Gamrot masterclass or Manuel Torres sparks him out because Gamrot is a little chinny. Moving on. Aaron Pico got a huge win over Patricio Pitbull at UFC 327. I say run him versus David Onama. This makes sense. I still at bedtime put fucking Kevin Vallejos versus fucking Aaron Pico. What the hell? No, we fuck with Aaron Pico. We fuck with Kevin Vallejos. We want both of them to rise up the rankings. And Kevin Vallejos would genuinely do disgusting things to Aaron Pico. Kevin Vallejos would just shut fucking Pico's lights off literally in half a round. So I don't want to see that. And Pico versus I don't know. There's a lot of booked matchups in the featherweight division, and Pico shouldn't be fighting anyone like really high level. So him and Onama, Pico's now like 13th in the rankings. Onama's like 14th or 15th. I think this makes a lot of sense. Onama just coming off a loss. He hits pretty hard. He's pretty durable too. Also, although he did get finished in the first round by Garcia, but Garcia's tough. So him versus Onama, I think would be a great scrap. I could see it. It's like a 50-50 fight. I could see it going either way, and I think it'd be pretty exciting as well. Both of these guys are mainly strikers. So yeah, I think it'd be an exciting fight and another victory if Pico wins, and then Onama gets back on track with a big name. So perfect matchmaking here. Moving on, the loser of the worst fucking fight of the card, Johnny Walker. I say feed him Dustin Jacoby. I think Dustin Jacoby probably lights out fucking Johnny Walker. Probably sparks him out. Johnny Walker's ass. He's looked bad in his last few fights. He had a great win against Zhang Minyang and then looked absolutely terrible in this fight. I mean, he didn't look terrible. He just didn't throw. All he did was throw leg kicks. We didn't really see like anything else from him. Literally all leg kicks from Johnny Walker. So I say him versus Dustin Jacoby would be like a nice little like pretty fun fight, I think. I don't even know. I can't trust Johnny Walker to have a fun fight anymore. But Dustin Jacoby's a scrapper, doesn't grapple. Johnny Walker doesn't grapple. So this would be on the fight, on the feet. This would be an on the feet fight. Holy fuck, I'm like stumbling over my words. This would be an on the feet fight. And yeah, Dustin Jacoby's pretty slick. Maybe he can catch Johnny Walker. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty like uninterested in Johnny Walker fights from here on out. So moving on, Dominic Reyes got the win against Johnny Walker in a pretty boring fight. All he did was leg kick and throw like one big right hand around. So he was on his Volkanovski shit. And I think he should fight the winner of Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov, which I think is going to be Bogdan Guskov. Although Jan Blachowicz pretty much honestly should have won that last fight. I don't know why they're running it back. It makes no fucking sense. But anyway, the light heavyweight division's fucked up right now. So I say make Dominic Reyes the winner against the winner of Guskov versus Blachowicz, which I think it will be Guskov, and hopefully Guskov knocks out Dom Reyes, because I'm not a fan of Dom Reyes, never was. Don't understand why people like him so much. Don't understand why people fucking beloved this guy. That's not even a word, but it's late and I worked all fucking day and I'm tired of shit, but we're going to keep grinding. We're posting a video every single day. I posted a video every single day since December 18th, going off on a little side tangent. Yes, every single day. I haven't missed a day. Some days, 2 videos in a row, just saying. But yeah, I think Bogdan Guskov probably wins this. We'll see how he looks against Jan Blachowicz. And if Jan Blachowicz wins, run the rematch, Jan Blachowicz versus Dom Reyes. I think it probably goes a little different now. And Dom Reyes will probably just stink it up, because like I said with Johnny Walker, I have no trust in this dude ever making an exciting fight again. So moving on, Curtis Blades unfortunately lost to Josh Hokett, but now I am a Hokett fan in the cage only, but I do obviously fuck with Blades heavy. He had a good fight. He stayed really tough. He didn't quit, but I don't know. Him versus Sergey Spivak, these guys haven't fought, both wrestlers. I think it would be a nice little decent fight on the feet. I think Curtis Blades could probably put out Sergey on the feet, but in the grappling, I think it would be a nice little fight. I think Curtis Blades probably wins this. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about this. Sergey Spivak's pretty boring. The UFC heavyweight division's cooked. Although Hokett and Gable Steveson are coming up, they might feed Gable Steveson Sergey Spivak. I could see them doing that. You know what would actually be crazy is Gable Steveson versus Tai Tuivasa. Oh wait, no, I just remember Gable Steveson wrestles. Never mind. That'd be boring as shit. Gable Stevenson's probably just gonna not fucking hug him. But anyway, Curtis Blades, Sergey Spivak, run it. They've both been in the top 8 for a while, and they've never fought each other. So run this fight, fresh matchup, and I think Blades probably gets it done in a bounce back win. Moving on, the winner was Josh Hokett. I think he should fight fucking surprise here, Derek Lewis. The fight's already made. I don't get it. This is a step back for Hokett. Derek Lewis is probably a little more dangerous with the punching power, but in my opinion, Josh Hokett's easily going to win this. Derek Lewis is fucking awful. People are saying, you got to watch out for that right hand by Lewis, bro. Well, Lewis doesn't fucking show up to fight and even throw a right hand in some fights. So, yeah, him versus Hokett. I think Hokett's going to destroy him on the White House lawn. Even though Hokett just went in a fucking war, I don't think he's going to get touched by Lewis. Lewis is genuinely fucking terrible. But like I said, Hokett was getting tagged up by Blades, who doesn't really have that much of punching power. So if Lewis lands one clean, Hokett's probably going out, especially with the amount of damage he just took. But I don't think Derek Lewis is going to show up in any way, shape, or form in any good shape or form. I think he's going to be ass like he has been in the past few fights and just show up for a paycheck and look like an absolute fucking fool out there. And I think Josh Hokett finishes Derek Lewis easily in the first round on the White House lawn. Moving on to the co-main event, as Matt Mirzakhanov lost. Put him against fucking Volkan Oezdemir, bro. The battle of the bald unks, the Balkan fucking... Or Mirzakhanov's from Russia. Where's Oezdemir from? Oh, he's from Switzerland. That's Balkan, right? Yeah, somewhere in Europe. Anyway. It's not Balkan, I don't think, but it's definitely European. Yeah, Oezdemir versus Mirzakhanov. Mirzakhanov's going to take a long time off. I think he broke his arm. He got his fucking ego shattered. He got his soul snatched by Paulo Costa, which I was excited for because I did predict Paulo Costa to win. So I was happy to see it. Volkan Oezdemir coming off a few decent wins, I'm pretty sure. I think he's on a 1 or 2 fight win streak. I'm pretty sure. Knocked Johnny Walker out. Knocked someone else out. I think he's on a win streak, so I say run this fight. It's a good bounce back for Mirzakhanov. I think Mirzakhanov probably wins this. He was looking great in that second round against Costa, tagging him up, so I think Mirzakhanov still has what it takes to be a top 5 guy in this division, and I think a good bounce back fight for him is Mirzakhanov and Volkan Oezdemir. I think this is a good step-up fight after he's been on a few wins, so perfect matchmaking here. This is a no-brainer in the light heavyweight division. We're going to move on to the light heavyweight division again, and some of these matchups are so confusing, and I don't know how it's going to shape up, but the winner, Paulo Costa, I think he should fight Khalil Rountree. Now, I see a lot of people saying it should be Alberg versus Costa. Costa's probably not going to... Costa is pretty inactive, so I could see him waiting out. Obviously, everyone thinks Carlos Alberg has a torn ACL, and that's probably what it is. So he's going to at least be out a year. At least a year. So does Costa wait, or does he get one more fight in? I'm not sure, but I think this fight would be an absolute banger. If Costa wins this, then obviously he's going to be next. If Khalil wins, you could make a case. It's so many of these guys at light heavyweight are coming off just one loss. And then if they get one win, it's going to be like, okay, they're only on a 1-fight win streak fighting for the belt again. So I don't know. I say make Costa versus Khalil Roundtree. This fight would be sick. If Costa wins, give him the title shot. If Khalil wins, maybe he has to fight one more. Depends on how long Alberg's out. It really all depends on how long Alberg's out. If Alberg's out only for like fucking not as long as we thought and he comes back in like 5-6 months, run him versus Costa. I think that fight makes the most sense because everyone else is coming off a loss. So, but I think Alberg's going to be out for a while. So run Costa versus Khalil Roundtree. This fight would be cinema. Moving on, the loser of the main event, Yuri. You let us down, Yuri, but it's okay. We forgive you. And you're going to get back in there, and you're probably going to lose to Magomed Ankalaev, but we're going to hope and we're going to pick you to win. This fight's a no-brainer. Both guys coming off championship losses. This fight should have happened a long time ago. And yeah, I think it's a perfect time now. Both guys, like I said, coming off championship losses, looking for a win. The loser of this fight is going to be in a tough spot, but the winner is probably going to be right back in title contention. And if it's Yuri, I could see them running a rematch with Alberg. If it's Ankalaev, maybe he'll need one more because the UFC hates Ankalaev, but I think this is a no-brainer. Yuri versus Magomed Ankalaev. I don't really have much to say about this. I think Magomed Ankalaev would win. I think he's a slicker striker. I think he could use some takedowns against Yuri, like mix in some grappling. I think he'd make it boring, but I mean, maybe he could TKO Yuri because Yuri's chin's just gone and he has no defense and he's dumb and stupid. But so that's always a factor in Yuri fights. But yeah, Magomed Ankalaev versus Yuri Prochazka. This is a no-brainer to me. Run this shit in like the fall, maybe Abu Dhabi. Ooh, Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sarukian, vacant belt in Abu Dhabi, where we lost the belt, we'll regain it with this as the 5-round co-main. Ooh, tell me I didn't just cook right there. I absolutely just cooked for the Abu Dhabi pay-per-view. And that leaves one person left, the winner of the main event, Carlos Ulberg. Who do I think he should fight next? I have no idea. I don't know. Any one of those guys. Like, look at the fucking light heavyweight division right now, man. Obviously, you got Magomed and Yuri. I think they should fight each other. They're both coming off losses. Khalil Roundtree coming off... Is Khalil Roundtree coming off a win? No, he's coming off the Yuri loss. Khalil's coming off a loss. Jan Blachowicz coming off a draw and like 5 losses. Azamat Mirzakhanov just lost. Jamal Hill coming off like fucking 4 losses and an injury. Bogdan Guskov coming off a draw against Jan Blachowicz. Volkan Oezdemir fucking shouldn't be fighting for the belt. Dom Reyes shouldn't be fighting for the belt. Rakic should not be fighting for the belt. Like it's literally Paulo Costa. If he comes back quick, it should be Paulo Costa. I don't think Costa's going to wait around that long, but maybe he will because he is inactive as fuck. So maybe you just do Alberg versus Costa, but in the meantime, if Yuri gets a huge KO victory over Ankalaev or Ankalaev gets a big victory over Yuri, Khalil Roundtree if he gets a big win over Costa if they fight, fucking Jan Blachowicz versus Bogdan Guskov winner. Like, I don't know. Maybe they do this fight as the interim or this fight as the interim or Costa versus Ankalaev as the interim. I could see that. Costa versus Ankalaev is the interim if Alberg's out for a while. But if Alberg's not out for a while, like I said, run the fight with Costa. If he is, I say run either of these 2 matchups or just run Costa versus Ankalaev, even though fucking undeserved Ankalaev. Like, none of these guys deserve to fight for a fucking belt. Like, even these two don't. These two do not deserve to fight for a belt. Costa's literally the most deserving, and he's just because he's coming off a win. All these guys are coming off a loss. If Costa can get one more in before he fights Alberg and be on a 2-fight win streak, that'd be ideal. But yeah, I don't know who Alberg should fight next. Costa, if he doesn't have to be out long, or just like he's going to have to wait and see what happens in the meantime with matchups and shit. So let me know what you guys think of my matchups in the comments. Let me know who you would match make. You know, if you would put Alberg versus Costa or Yuri versus Costa or whatever, Ankalaev in the mix. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.